जना जमुना तीरा वनचार्य जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज जगाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज जगाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. This morning we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th, entitled The Creation of Fourth Order, Chapter 19, entitled King Prithu's 100 Horse Sacrifices. This is text 29, 30, 31 do not have purport, so we will read them, and then today's verse for recitation will be text 32. So this is text 29. Iti amantreya kriturpatim vidu. No, this is not for recitation. Vidurasya tvijorusha shrughastan juhuvato bhetya swayambhu pratyashedhata. My dear Vidura, after giving the king this advice, the priest who had been engaged in performing the sacrifice called for Indra, the king of heaven, in the mood of great anger. When they were just ready to put the oblation in the fire, Lord Brahma appeared on the scene and forbade them to start the sacrifice. Text 30. Navadyo bhavatam indro yadyagyo bhavatam tanu yam jigham satha yajne yasyeshtas tanavasura. Lord Brahma addressed them thus: My dear sacrificial performers, you cannot kill Indra, the king of heaven. It is not your duty. You should know that Indra is as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, he is one of the most powerful assistants of the Personality of Godhead. You are trying to satisfy all the demigods by the performance of this yajna. But you should know that all these demigods are but part and parcels of Indra, the king of heaven. How then can you kill him in this great sacrifice? Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Gaunitai Chandra Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Text 31. Tad idam pashyatamaha dharma vyatikaran dvija indrena anushishtan rajan karmaitad vigahamsata. In order to make trouble and impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted some means that in the future will destroy the clear path of religious life. I draw your attention to this fact. If you oppose him further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many other irreligious systems. So today's verse for recitation is 32. पृथु कीर्ते पृथोर भूयार तरहि एकोना शत क्रतु अलम ते क्रतुभिः स्विष्टैर्यद् भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत् पृथुकीर्ते पृथो भूयात् पृथुकीर्तेर्पृथोर्भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर् यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत् पृथुकीर्तेर्पृथोर्भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर्यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत् पृथुकीर्तेर्पृथोर्भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर्यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत्. Please recite. पृथो कीर्तेर्पृथो भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर्यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत् पृथुभूतेर्पृथो भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर्. One more devotee. पृथुकीर्तेर्पृथोर्भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो मुखे कृतभिर्षष्ठैर् यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत्. Anybody from Vaishnavis? पृथुकीर्तेर्पृथो भूयात् तर्हि एकोनशतकृतो अलं ते कृतभिर्षष्ठैर् यद्भवान् मोक्षधर्मवेत्. We'll see what word meaning. पृथुकीर्ते of wide renown. Prutho of King Pruthu. Bhuyad, let it be. Tarhi, therefore. Ekona Shatakratu, he who performed 99 yagyas. Alam, there is nothing to be gained. Te, of you. Kratubhi, by performing sacrifices. Suishtair, well performed. Yad, because. Bhavan, yourself. Moksha Dharmavid, the knower of the path of liberation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu. Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him that since he was thoroughly aware of path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifices? Please recite the translation response. Let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu. Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him that since he was thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifices? purport. Lord Brahma came down to pacify King Prithu regarding his continual performance of 100 sacrifices. King Prithu was determined to perform 100 sacrifices, and King Indra took this very seriously because Indra himself was known as a performance of 100 sacrifices. Just as it is nature of all the living entities within this material world to become envious of their competitors, King Indra, although king of heaven, was also envious of King Prithu and wanted to stop him from performing 100 sacrifices. Although there was great competition, and King Indra, to satisfy his senses, began to invent so many irreligious systems to obstruct King Prithu. To stop these irreligious inventions, Lord Brahma personally appeared in the sacrificial arena. As far as Maharaj Prithu was concerned, he was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, it was not necessary for him to perform the prescribed Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Such ceremonies are known as karma, and there is no need for a devotee in transcendental position to execute them. As the ideal king, however, it was King Prithu's duty to perform sacrifices. A compromise was therefore to be worked out. By the blessings of Lord Brahma, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra. Thus, Prithu's determination to perform 100 sacrifices was indirectly fulfilled by the blessings of Lord Brahma. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all the assembled devotees, in particular His Grace Anandmaya Prabhu, so that we can discuss this enlightening topic of Prithu Maharaja's 100 horse sacrifices. In the past few verses, we have seen the intention of Indra, and of course, in the purpose, there was very good instructions about the sannyas ashram. Why sannyas ashram should be accepted, and what was the problem with Indra? Why he did all that? So we can just imagine the whole situation. What kind of a mess Indra has created? So why Indra could create that mess, or why it so happened that Indra created that mess, is that he is attached to sense gratification. So attachment to sense gratification can lead a person to adharma. And Indra is the best example for that. So we'll try to see what is the attachment that Indra had. Most often we end up criticizing Indra, or rather most often scriptures end up criticizing Indra for his attachment to that post. He is a king of demigods. We can imagine how much power and influence Indra had just by sitting on that seat. So Indra was too attached to that seat because all the demigods used to come and take blessings of Indra, take directions from Indra as to what has to be done in the universal management. And Indra was very, very proud of that position, that Like Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti, and Indra almost felt that it is he. Indra Adhyakshena Prakriti, something like that Indra was feeling. So now Indra's attachment is not just limited to that seat. Because see, Indra also is little bit educated person. It's not like completely dull-headed roadsider. It's not dull-headed roadsider. He knew that Prithu Maharaj is not aiming at his seat. Like just by reading Bhagavatam, we can understand that Prithu Maharaj is not aiming at Indra's seat. He is aiming for benefit of the citizens. So what is the problem of Indra? You are attached to something, and Prithu is not competing for that seat. He is not even in the list of voters. Generally in election it happens that one constituency, two people are fighting, trying to get votes. I will become the king. So what is the Indra's problem then? Does Indra did not knew that Prithu is not trying for Indra's post? The problem was, as it shows in this verse, Indra was also known by a name called Shatakrutu, means one who has performed 100 sacrifices. Now, if Prithu also becomes successful in performing 100 sacrifices, he will be also called as Shatakrutu. So, at one level, the Indra's attachment was to that name, Shatakrutu. So, if I am Shatakrutu, nobody else should be Shatakrutu. Although they may not target my seat, but the name is anyways targeted. So, the attachment to one thing can lead to attachment that attachment brings along. Right? So, although Indra was king of demigods, still he ended up doing all this mess. For his sense gratification, he has messed up dharma. Can you imagine? For his sense gratification, he messed up dharma. And here Prithu Maharaj is so much dharmic that even if a great personality like Mother Earth apparently does some mistake, Maharaj Prithu was very strong against that. So with that same strength, Maharaj Prithu thought that if Indra does adharma, and where is Indra doing adharma? In Prithu's Maharaj kingdom. So Prithu Maharaj thought there is no way that this Indra should be allowed to do this. In the name of dharma, in the name of the renounced order, he is, propagating sense gratification. So in these current times, at least in Kali Yuga, we can see many such organizations. In the name of religion, they propagate sense gratification. They say that even if it is Sanatan Dharma or any other Dharma, killing animals is allowed. Like sometimes some people say that killing this animal is allowed. If you see some religions which are non-Sanatan Dharma based, they say that this animal can be sacrificed like that. So all these are chelas, followers of Indra. In the name of Dharma, do sense gratification. Which Prithu Maharaj was not very appreciative of. Now, from one view, it may look that Prithu Maharaj wants to take revenge because his sacrifice is stopped. It can look like that. So, and people can comment that Prithu Maharaj's ego is got hurt now and he wants to take revenge from Indra. So, it can be look like that, but Prithu Maharaj actually was worried that if a person like Indra does adharma, then what will happen? That was the concern of Krishna also for Arjuna. That very chivalrous king, very powerful king, thinks that to be ahimsa at the time where you should be himsa, it is adharma. And then what will happen is mass corruption. So in Kali Yuga, this mass corruption is very easy. Unfortunately, mass corruption is very easy. So Prithu Maharaj did not wanted the adharma to spread. So then he decided that Indra has to be killed. And you see these priests who were with Prithu Maharaj, they were trying to define a yagya to kill Indra. But generally yagya involves benediction of demigods also. So how can you how can you perform a sacrifice to kill the person whom you are doing ahuti for the sacrifice? Hmm? It is very difficult. It is not possible. Hmm? Like in the past, also, Mother Diti tried it. She wanted to kill Indra, so she did some great sacrifice of practicing austerities for a very long time. Hmm? But Diti was, in one sense, unsuccessful. And Indra, there also you'll see that for his sense gratification, he started entering the womb and started cutting the womb of Mother Diti. Hmm? So seeing all that, see when there is a, what do you say, fight, apparently fight between two personalities, it is very important that a superior personality takes his position. Hmm? Because if Indra and Prithu Maharaj would have continued the fight, nobody would have surrendered. Like I was reading this previous verse, this is text 31. Hmm? I'll just read the text 31. If it can be displayed, it will be good. In order to make trouble and impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted means that in the future will destroy the clear path of religious life. So Indra has already destroyed dharma. And here Prabhupada writes, I draw your attention to this fact. If you oppose him further, he will further misuse his power and induce more irreligious system. If you see the Sanskrit word to word meaning, you may not see this meaning coming out from Sanskrit. That if you oppose him further, Indra will do further misuse of the power. That does not come from the Sanskrit reading. But here Prabhupada is giving direct explanation as to why Brahma wants to stop and why Prithu Maharaj also agreed. It is not that Prithu Maharaj said that, okay, just Brahma is telling me, so stop. Of course, that is a principle in Vaishnavism, that if some superior person tells us, instruct something, we accept it. But here, Prithu Maharaja's acceptance was not some blindly, okay, Brahma said something, so we will accept. If that is the case, then Brahma did so many other things also, which need not be followed. Right? But here, at least in this point, Brahma was representing Dharma. Why? Because Prithu Maharaj also understood that if I take a tussle with Indra, even you may win, but that win will also induce many other irreligious things to crop up. So it seemed like Indra was very determined. He lost his intelligence. So if a person loses intelligence and the other party also loses intelligence, it becomes very, very difficult. So Brahma, now sometimes it may see that Brahma is trying to instruct Prithu Maharaj, as if Prithu Maharaj has done some mistake. Brahma is instructing Prithu Maharaj because Indra cannot be instructed. It is a general principle that those who are too attached to sense gratification cannot understand good message. Right? Cannot understand good message. We have example where Narad Muni was trying to instruct Chitraketu, and Chitraketu was too attached. That I should have a son. I should have a son. Too much attached. In fact, it is described that he had married 1 lakh wives. 1 lakh wives. So you can imagine how much he had that intense desire that I should have a child. So then Narad Muni thought, not right time. So now you go to Indra and tell him that give back the horse. If Brahma comes to Indra and tells give back the horse, do you think Indra will listen? May not listen. So then Brahma thought better to instruct Prithu Maharaj. Let me tell Prithu Maharaj that instead of you wanting to be known as Shatakrutu, you will be Ekona Shatakrutu. And that will make you more famous than Shatakrutu. So when Brahma explained to him in a very logical way that fight between two great personalities always leads to destruction. And Brahma thought this is not necessary. Like whatever you want to do, benefit to the humanity in your citizenship, in your kingdom, you've already done by 99 horse sacrifices. Just by adding that one sacrifices, it is not that something great will happen. But the problem is that Indra will be offended. For that word, you will get that name called Shatakrutu, and for that, Indra will be offended. Hmm. So better to have 99 horse sacrifices than 100 horse sacrifices minus Indra. Hmm. Because Indra is sometimes, quite a lot of time, very, very adamant. Hmm. So now, as part of devotees, we should understand that when our superiors are explaining us something very good, hmm, very logically, not just out of their own whims, very logically is trying to explain us what is dharma, we accept it. Although at that moment it may look wrong. No? Why for sense gratification of Indra, Prithu Maharaj should be defamed, right? May look wrong logic. Hmm? Like, but then devotional service takes you one step ahead. Hmm? But if in that wrong logic of materialistic logic, you surrender to Krishna, Krishna becomes more pleased. Hmm? Like when Rajvasis were doing this Indra Yagya for satisfaction of Indra, Krishna very intelligently spoke atheistic philosophies, spoke karma kand, whatever he wanted, he spoke. But finally, when Brajvasis accepted it is sometimes described that Brajvasis told Krishna also, whatever you are telling, it is seemingly not correct. But just to please you, we will do that. So Krishna was pleased with Brajvasis with that attitude. That even at the cost of something wrong, they are trying to please me. So when somebody does that, the reward is also equally great. You will see that Krishna awarded them and punished Indra. Indra gets very badly punished, but the problem is that Indra never learns. The problem is Indra never learns. Somebody is too attached to sense gratification, very difficult, cannot learn. He saw how Indra was so badly humiliated in the Govardhan Leela. So much so that all of his power was not even sufficient to move a dust particle on Govardhan Hill. But still Indra continues like that. Determined sense gratifier. Determined sense gratifier. What can be done? He is still part in the Bhagavatam. But however, Prithu Maharaj, you will see that he was powerful, he was determined, yet he was humble. And then his humility was based on his superior's teachings. Brahma tells me, if any other personality would have come, it would have been still difficult to stop Prithu. Because Prithu was determined, and all the priests were also saying that yes, if Indra has done adharma, just kill him. But Lord Krishna has his way of punishing people. We cannot see, even though Indra did mistake directly to Prithu Maharaj wanted to give punishment to Indra, but Brahma, through the agency of Brahma, Krishna is telling, I have my means to punish Indra, you don't punish him. Prithu Maharaj says, okay, fine, no problem. I need not get into this zone of punishing Indra for his wrongdoing. If you are taking charge, if a superior person takes charge of a particular person, we need not get into that zone of punishing others for their own wrongdoings. Even if that is within their own kingdom. So this is how Prithu Maharaj is establishing the dharma. So now there can be an argument whether Prithu Maharaj's 100th sacrifice was it successful or unsuccessful. So from external angle of vision, it was unsuccessful. Because whenever there is a sacrifice, the horse is brought, and by the chanting of mantras, the horse gets the new life. That testifies that the horse yagya, Ashwamedha yagya is successful. But the another angle of sacrifice is ultimately to please Lord Vishnu. So if Brahma is pleased, at least Prithu Maharaj understood that if Brahma is pleased with this act of not doing sacrifice, Vishnu will also be pleased. Vishnu also could have come. Right? Sometimes you will see that Lord Vishnu also comes to intervene or mediate between the demigods. Sometimes he does that. But in this particular case, Brahma was sufficient. Hmm? So for each level of a person, that kind of a level of caliber of a great personality is needed. Like for Prithu Maharaj, such a great personality, Brahma had to come. Hmm? So Brahma told that, do not worry about your fame. You will be more famous as Ekona Shatakratu than Shatakratu. Hmm? And I am pleased, now please stop, because this battle will not lead to anything good. Hmm? So just give up your ego. So what Prithu Maharaj had sacrificed in 100th Ashwamedha Yagya is his own ego or sense of proprietorship or sense of, when we become dharmic king, that also brings some kind of pride that, I am a dharmic king. Hmm? So Brahma said, for now, for time being, just halt. So Prithu Maharaj agreed that, and that is the glory of Prithu Maharaj, being determined, powerful, at the same time humble. So we as devotees in Krishna consciousness, we should be very powerful in our execution of Krishna consciousness. We should be very much determined. You'll see at one level, Prithu Maharaj was determined that even if some obstacle comes, I will overcome that obstacle. It is not that some obstacle comes, we will say we will give up. Hmm? If even if you feel that there is an obstacle in Krishna consciousness, you want to give up, that should be what do you say? Okayed by a superior person. Hmm? But Prithu Maharaj was that, in that sense, was determined. Even if obstacles come, we will execute Krishna consciousness. So in our life, from Prithu Maharaj, we can learn that we should be powerful, we should be determined, and at the same time, we should be humble. Whatever our superior authorities tell us very logically, we accept that as our correction. And from the life of Brahma, we understand that we should not allow two people to unnecessarily fight. Because generally, when two people fight, the third party can take a better advantage of the two people sometimes. So, if Indra and Prithu continued their tussle, there can be more chances of other adharmas to grow. So, as a superior authority, we should be very sure that our subordinates follow proper dharma. And from the life of Indra, it is very clear what all we can learn. What all we cannot learn, we should not learn rather. Too attached to sense gratification and duplicitous behavior. Duplicitous behavior. Very, very detrimental in Krishna consciousness. Like how we'll see Indra when he met this Gautama's wife, Ahalya, there also he used duplicitous form. It's actually demoniac to have duplicitous form. Like you'll see Ravana, the very reason why he could abduct Sita is his duplicitous behavior. If Ravana would have come in his original form in front of Sita, Sita wouldn't have never thought that I should give alms. So duplicitous behavior, sense gratification leads to duplicitous behavior, and duplicitous behavior immediately results in adharma. This is how the system works. So Prithu Maharaj was very, with this act, Prithu Maharaj became very famous. That's why the first line of the verse is, Prutho Kirtehe. Kirtehe means well known as Ekona Shata Krutu. So Krishna consciousness is always, we can learn by this, is Krishna consciousness goes deeper and deeper as we go deeper. So the Prithu Maharaj was successful in performing sacrifices, not just 100 sacrifices, as a very powerful king. And another reason why Brahma is instructing Prithu Maharaj is that the last line of that verse he says, Moksha Dharmavit. So you're already a Moksha Dharmavit. Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, somebody is completely liberated, for them there is no karma. So you're already on a liberated platform. Why are you trying to gain something out of this yagyas? Just leave it and go ahead in Krishna consciousness. So sometimes to go ahead in Krishna consciousness, we may have to give up some things, even though they may be very religious apparently. So these are the various lessons from which we can learn from the episodes of Srimad Bhagavatam and from the pages of Bhagavatam. Lord Vyasadev and by the purport Srila Prabhupada are continuously instructing us to walk the path of Moksha Dharmavit. So that's what I thought we can discuss in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. If anybody has any questions, anybody has any comments, then please do so. Hmm.
But Brahma says that if you don't, I mean, if you attack Indra, Indra will take revenge. No, but the intention was to kill him.
Hmm. So if Indra would have got killed, then okay, adharma could have stopped. But killing Indra is also not possible by sacrifices, because Indra is a great personality. I was just telling that point. Even Diti tried to kill Indra, but Diti was unsuccessful. So by at least by performing sacrifices, trying to kill Indra is not possible. That is what also comes out as an explanation. By performing sacrifices, we cannot kill Indra. In the past also it might have happened, but at least in the Bhagavatam we will see uh, Vritrasura also tried. Vritrasura was brought in by Yagya, by Tvashta, if I am not wrong, right? By Tvashta. So Tvashta also tried killing Indra, but he was unsuccessful. Diti also tried killing Indra, unsuccessful. So Prithu Maharaj also could have become unsuccessful by doing that. But in the course of trying to do that, Indra would have resorted to more adharmic ways. Hmm? So Brahma, as a superior personality, did not wanted the little bit mess to become a bigger mess. So sometimes by superior personalities just presence, the mess is just removed out. That is what was Brahma's explanation to Prithu. This is what I understood. You are also moksha dharma with, but just as a matter of question, we can discuss. Thank you very much. Any further questions? So thank you all very much. Please forgive any mistakes if I have done in my presentation. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.